Hello friends, welcome back to ClouDost. In today's session we will be discussing about S3. S3 stands for Simple Storage Service. It's one of the most important service provided by AWS. You can use to store and retrieve any amount of data at any point from anywhere. Amazon provides a very highly scalable infrastructure in form of S3, and storing data in S3 is also very cheap, and there is no limit on the amount of data you can store in S3. Because of this reason, it's widely popular, and also you can use to integrate S3 with various other services provided by AWS. The key benefits of S3 is availability and durability. So AWS claims that your data will be available up to 99.99% and will be durable up to 11 nines. Now when we talk about storing data in S3, the data is stored in a form of a bucket. What is a bucket? Bucket is a container that helps you to store your data in the form of object, or you can say that S3 is an object storage. Now, first of all, the first thing that comes to our mind is what is object storage and how it is different from our regular storage. Like in case of your EC2, we have our EBS or EFS. So how it is different? So if you want to know more about EC2 or EFS, we have another video for that. The link is in the description. You can go through that. In this, I will be comparing the block storage and the object storage. So what is the key difference between the block storage and object storage? So we all know that when we talk about the block storage, we have our memory, like you can say your hard drives, your pen drive, and we have the memory blocks, and in these memory blocks our data is stored. So when we talk about these memory blocks or our storage, we say that our storage are into particular formats. Either it's in FAT32 format or FAT16 format or NTFS formats. So how does these formats affects our block storage? When we say about this formats, our memory is divided into certain amounts of blocks. When we talk about FAT32, our entire memory is divided into a block, and each block is of size of 32 bits. So let's say you want to store a data of 40 bits. So what will happen if you want to store a file that is of 40 bit in size? So now when we are storing 40 bytes of data, so one block of 32 bit has been completely utilized and the other block is only used partially. That means we can say the rest of the block is getting wasted. That means 24 bits of this particular block is getting wasted, because in a single block only the single data or the similar data can be present. This block will not be utilized to store another data. So if some new data comes, it will be stored in the rest of the blocks. Let's say in this block or maybe in the other block. But this particular block will never be used until and unless we use proper tools for defragment or another things. That means this 24-bit space is being wasted. So to avoid this thing, we came up with another format, that is FAT16. In this FAT16, each block is of 16 bit. Now if I want to store 40 bits of data, now two blocks will be used entirely. That means 16 plus 16, 32, and the rest block will be used partially. Could say only partially it's being used. Now the space being wasted over here is less as compared to the FAT32. Over there we were wasting around 24 bit, but here the block that will be wasted is only of 8 bits, because 16 and 16, 32, and rest 8 partial. The file size that we were storing was 40 bit, so now only a partial block of 8 bits is being wasted, whereas in FAT32 the 24-bit storage was being wasted. But still there is a storage that is being wasted, though the amount is less. So to prevent this, we created another kind of file storage system, that was NTFS, and over here we had 4-bit block. So now if I want to store a file of 40 bits, what I just need to do, I just need to use 10 blocks. In this case there will be no wastage of the space. Each block is of 4-bit and we have the data of 40 bits, so now only the 10 blocks will be used. In this case there is no wastage. So that is all about the block storage, where our entire storage system is divided into blocks. Our memory is divided into blocks, and depending upon the size of the data, that blocks are consumed. But when we talk about object storage, we don't have any block. So our entire memory is divided into a singular object, and a single file is stored as a single object. Now if I have a file of 40 KB or 40 bit, there will be a single object for that. So now it's easy for us to maintain this storage. It's easy for us because over here in block storage we need to know the address of each block so that we can retrieve the entire data, and if any one of the block gets corrupted, our information gets lost. But in case of object storage, there is no concepts of blocks, so there is a single object, and so if there is less chances of data to be corrupted and we can easily retrieve. But yes, this object storage can only be used for any kinds of files like your multimedia files, your images, flat files, Word documents, any kinds of Excel sheets, PowerPoint presentations, or any kinds of text file, any kind of your multimedia files like your images, movies, songs, etc. So here you cannot install any kinds of operating systems or any kinds of packages or software. For installing all these things you need an block storage. That's a brief difference between your block storage and object storage. So coming back to S3, S3 is an object storage and everything we place is as an object. Now there is few things that you need to take care in mind while creating an S3 bucket. First, the name of the bucket should be globally unique. When we say globally unique, that means all across the world, all the S3 buckets that are present inside AWS data centers, all of them are having a unique name. It's like your login IDs or your Gmail IDs. You cannot have same email IDs. Same is with the bucket. So every bucket should have a globally unique name. Second, by default, every bucket is private in nature. That means all the content inside the bucket will not be visible to the users over the internet. You can make the bucket public, and how to do that we'll be seeing in the following videos. Plus, when you are naming a bucket, there is a particular pattern that you must follow. First, the bucket name should start and end with an alphabet or number. No uppercase allowed. That means all the entire name should be in lowercase. The special characters that you can use is either hyphen or period, and the bucket name should be of minimum 3 characters and maximum of 63 characters. Secondly, you cannot use any IP address as a name of the bucket. So now we'll be seeing these things in practical. So let's go to our AWS console. So into AWS console, to look for S3, you can click on services, and under the storage section you will find the first service as S3. So this is the S3 console. So over here you must see it's globally written. That means S3 is a global service. All the services inside AWS works at a regional level, but S3 works at a global level. So here we will be going to create our bucket. Click create bucket, and here it's asking me the name. So I will name the bucket as ClouDost. So guys, see, I have kept all the characters as small, and if I am using any of the capital letters, it will give me an error. So all the bucket characters should be small and all the naming convention should be followed. Then while creating a bucket, the bucket belongs to one of the region. So I'm gonna select North Virginia as the region and click on create. Now a bucket with the name ClouDost has been created, and it has been created in North Virginia. Plus, if you look carefully, it says buckets and objects not public. That means the bucket and the objects or the files that will be inside this bucket will be private files. So how can you upload it? So you can go inside it. You see this upload option. Click on this upload button. As you click on add files, a pop-up will come and you can navigate to the location where you have your file. So I'll click on add files. I'll navigate to the location. So I have my data over here, and now I will be uploading a file, let's say rose.jpg. This is an image that I will be uploading, and click on upload. So now you see this taskbar, it says 100% success and the file has been uploaded. In this way you can use this S3 to upload n number of files. So guys, one thing to remember is that while creating this bucket, nothing related to the size of the bucket was mentioned. We never mentioned the size of this bucket. That's because there is no size of S3. S3 is infinitely scalable storage. So depending upon the data you are uploading inside your S3 bucket, size will vary for your bucket. Okay. So in this way you can create your buckets and upload your data over here. And remember, every data inside the bucket is treated as an object. Along with the storage, S3 also provides various benefits. So we will be discussing those benefits in the next session. Thank you for watching. See you soon with the next video. Thank you guys. If you find the session useful, please hit the like button. Also subscribe to the channel to keep receiving such videos in future. You can also hit the bell icon so that you get notified every time I upload a new content. Also share with your friends. Also comment if you want me to make a video on a particular topic. Thanks a lot. See you soon. Bye bye.